Okay, so let's solve an equation with a double radical. First, we need one of these square roots by itself on one side. So I'm going to leave this one on the left, and I'm going to move the other one over to the right. And it's negative right now, so when I move it, it's going to become a positive. So this is going to be 2x minus 2, square root of 2x minus 2, equals 1, and it's going to become a positive square x. Okay. All right. So now we've got the square root of 2x minus 2 by itself on one side, so we can square both sides now. Okay, so on the left, the square and the square root cancel out, and I just get 2x minus 2. And on the right, though, we've got to write this thing out, and we have to FOIL it out. And we're still going to have a radical. Okay, so on the left, I'll just leave that alone for the moment. Let's go ahead and FOIL out our right. So we're going to say 1 times 1 is 1. We're going to do 1 times the square root of x. That's just the square root of x. We're going to do the square root of x times 1, and that's just the square root of x. It's supposed to be a plus sign. It's not showing up that way. And then we're going to do square root of x times the square root of x, and that's just going to be x, because it's the square root squared. Alright, so now before we do anything else, let's just add together these two like terms. So I'll have 2x minus 2. And if I add together those two, that's 2 of them. And then I'll still have my x out here. Alright, now let me move things down a little bit on the right, just so we got more room. Okay, now I want to do the same thing again. I want to get this radical by itself on one side. So I'm going to move the 1 and the x to the left. And they will change signs when they go across the equal sign. So the 1 will become negative and the x will become negative when I move it to the other side of this equal sign. Now let's add up the like terms on the left. So 2x and negative x is just plain old x. Negative 2 and negative 1 is negative 3. And now I've got my radical by itself on the right. I can square both sides again. So I'm going to square both sides. Alright, so on the left, I've got to write this out. X minus 3 squared really means this, and we're going to have to FOIL it out. On the right, if I square my 2, it will be 4. When I square the square root, it just pops out as x. Alright, so let's now multiply the left side out. Let me move my page down a little bit so we got more room. Alright, so x times x is x squared. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. And negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. Alright, now let's notice it's quadratic because we have this x squared. So I'm going to move the 4x across the equal sign and get everything on one side. And it will become a negative 4x when I move it across. Okay, so I'll add like terms. Let me again see if I can't move things down. Ooh, I'm getting to the end of the page. Alright, I may have to change to another page here. So we'll get x squared, and negative 3x, and negative 4x will add to negative 10x. And then, let's see, 9 doesn't have anything to add to, so I know, again, my 10 looks like a 16, but it is actually a 10. This stylus just doesn't write too great here. Okay, and I don't think it's going to let me go down to another page. Let me try without the draw here. No. Oh, wait, maybe if I do that, it'll push it to a second page. No? Well, we could go up to the top, which is what we'll do. I'll, uh-oh, where did it, now it's not showing it. That's no help. Let me, back up again. So it looks like I'll have to open another page. This draw feature in Word has its problems. Alright, so I've got x squared minus 10x plus 9 equals 0. Let me just open up a new page. Well, there we go. Now, I think that was right. Let me just double check that I wrote the right thing. Oh, it's minus 10x plus 9. Okay, let's go back then. And just erase here. And that does make a difference. So, okay, so let's factor this. We need factors of 9 that add to a negative 10. Well, that has to be negative 9 and negative 1. It's the only thing that's going to give us negative 10 in the middle. So we need, for x squared, we need x times x to give us x squared. And then we need negative 9 and negative 1 to give us negative 10 in the middle. And now let's set each of those to 0. I don't like this blue, doesn't do very well. Let's go red or something. So taking the 9 to the other side, we'll get a positive 9, and taking the 1 to the other side, we'll get a positive 1. Now we're almost done, but remember we have to check any radical equation solutions. So let's put 9 back in the original. Let's see if I can go back here to the original. Maybe there's room, there may not be. Oh, maybe right above it. So if I put 9 back in here, I'll have 2 times 9 minus 2 under that square root minus the square root of 9 equals 1. Well, let's see. This under this first square root, I'm going to get 18 minus 2. So I'm going to have the square root of 16. And we know the square root of 9 is 3. So really what I've got there, square root of 16 is 4. 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. Our 9 is okay. But our other solution was a 1, so let's check that, and I'll use a different color here. So we'll have square root 2 times 1 minus 2 minus the square root of 1 equals 1. Alright, so under the first square root, right here, 2 minus 2 is going to give us 0. So that term is going to go away, and then we have this minus sign here in front of the square root of 1, and we're going to get negative 1 equals positive 1, which is not true. So going back to the end there, the 1 doesn't work, but the 9 does. So we would only end up with this one as our solution.